It wasn't short of challenges. The terrain, the weather, the distance from New Zealand were all against us, really. We could fly into Buka, but then we had the Buka Passage, which is about 400 yards of fast-running water between us and the main island, and we had to bridge that gap using the light tactical raft before we started. The road was appalling, and of course we had to then open the Europa airfield in time to bring the first aeroplane, and our engineers did a brilliant job, and they got the thing open a matter of minutes really before the first aeroplane touched down. It was a well done thing.
The biggest thrill would have been the landing of the first Hercules at Europa airfield. When we first got there, there was piles of dirt all over the airfield, probably about 50 of them, and there was a numerous number of trenches running perpendicular across the runway, and they were about 1 metre to 2 metres deep, and we didn't know if they had unexploded ordnance in them, so we had to search them first, and it was pretty hot out there. Yeah.
How have you found the peacekeeping forces here, the New Zealanders, the Kiwis that you're working with today? How have you found them?
Oh, I am very happy with them when I work with them and when I see them here in Bougainville.
For example, this job here with the bridge, the locals that I have working under me were half BRA and half resistance. And, they had been shooting each other a couple of years earlier, and they actually eye to eye the people they were shooting at. So them working together is probably a good step.
They wanted us here. They had some confidence in New Zealand leadership, in the efforts New Zealand had made to help. They were confident that we didn't have a vested interest, so that our offer was genuine.
Morning now. Name belong me, John. Man, how much long meet you? Morning. Belong me, Paul. We got news belong peace. One for you. Okay. Morning now. Morning. Name belong me, John.
The people here are very hungry for peace. You can feel it when you walk around and talk to people. The time I spent in Bosnia was an eye-opener from a different perspective. I mean, they had a full-scale conflict where they destroyed villages physically with the buildings and the people, whereas here it's been a bush war for a long period of time. The forces that have been put into this environment are not as big politically and as physically as what they had in Bosnia, and the will for peace here is very strong. The Melanesian way of burying the hatchet, you can achieve something.
Some of us in Vanuatu that we speak fluent Pidgins. We explain to them what we are doing. Chief Okata belong New Zealand, so we explain everything, and everything's been working on very good because we've got different ideas from different countries, so we put them together and it keeps us in a very perfect line, so everything is going on very good.
The Melanesian context, the people here call us Wantok, similar to the Vanuatu officers. They refer to them as Wantok, and that goes a long way here in Bougainville. They know that you are from the Pacific, and that goes for the Australian and the Kiwis too. They know that they are from the region and they are close at home. In some cases they call us brothers.
Where possible, the Truce Monitoring Group will assist the local community. Here at the village of Belima, we have a bulldozer which has not gone for 9 years. The mechanics will fix it. It will then be used to assist the local community in sorting out the school grounds so life here can return to normal.
Zanus L.
Okay, it's rusted out like you wouldn't believe, but we've had to replace the turbocharger, and that was a bit of a mission in itself. But it's quite satisfying to get something like that going, and it should come through for us pretty well, yeah.
They have done a tremendous job. One of the reasons why they came was to assist in lessening the intensity of suspicions and mistrust between those parties. At this point of time, I can assure you that they've done an extremely tremendous job.
New Zealanders are a fresh face in Bougainville. So we're somebody new on the scene. We aren't seen as having a hidden agenda. Our motives are seen as being fairly clear-cut. And it's really the work that Don McKinnon has done has elevated the name of Bougainville, and they trust New Zealanders when you talk to them on the ground because of the actions of McKinnon, the Endeavour Accord going back further in time. The second aspect is really the personal attributes of New Zealanders. We've grown up in a multi-ethnic environment. We've got a fairly solid grounding in Maori custom.
Cheese! Hey!
That background of the individual New Zealander coming to Bougainville
You here play cricket?
has allowed us to understand some of the points of Melanesian custom, which is absolutely vital to resolution of conflict in Bougainville.
Well!
Hey! And has also encouraged our soldiers to pick up a few words of pidgin.
Oh, good morning.
Those small steps have meant a lot to the people of Bougainville. That the introduction of New Zealand shows a group of people who want to understand them and want to assist and are not trying to dictate to them what their solution for peace should be.
It was a surprise to the population when we turned up here unarmed, but it was also a sort of moral demonstration, I suppose. The first consequence was that they put their weapons away. So we took a quantum leap forward in the peace process by not bringing weapons.
When we got here, we find that everything was easy. So working without arms is quite okay for Bougainville.
Unarmed here in this mission, and that's definitely been quite a good factor in with us being able to get out into different areas. We're not competing against factions by the fact that they're armed, so we have to be armed type thing. With that, our security has never been threatened at any stage, and we've had total freedom of movement.
It has greatly influenced the process of peace here, greatly. Yeah. So it has also brought to us this mentality that they came here not to fight, but for peace.
Yes. Unarmed troops. That is very important. That is the Pacific way. That is the Melanesian way. That is the way we will continue to do it.
Yeah, it's good. The reaction around here is good. I mean, they want us here. They want us here to give them their push for peace. So that's all we're really doing, giving them a push for peace.
I think right from the start, I had a feeling that we were working with a very diverse group of soldiers, from quite junior soldiers to relatively senior people, and that one of the things we had to develop very quickly was a team-type approach, that it wasn't going to work if it was a strictly hierarchical sort of organisation, that we had to have a team, and that within that team the leadership had to be sort of shared around. Really everyone we've had here is a leader in their own right, you know, from a junior NCO up, and that we really had to take the opportunities to develop those people while they were here.
I had to take two people from the Peace Committee out to a meeting, and I was chairing the meeting. It's different.
We've had no problems at all relating to the local people. They've accepted us, and a number of them are very good friends of ours, and I think we've been accepted really well by them as well. And I think certainly the New Zealand psyche, the multiculturalism of the country has helped a lot in that, and that we can relate to a lot of different cultures and tend to be quite sensitive as to their needs, what's required for their culture as well, so that's great.
With that cultural background, it makes the job very easy, understanding these people and where they're coming.
Breaking down barriers is very important to the Truce Monitoring Groups, and one of the ways that we've found is successful is by playing sport. We've participated in soccer, volleyball, basketball. Right here at the village of Atomo, an impromptu game on a Sunday afternoon is a great way to intermingle and a great way to pass the message of peace.
Yeah! These guys have been running their generators and vehicles and stuff on coconut oil for ages, so they're pretty intelligent. What they do is they scrape out the pot, and then they pour the milk into buckets and put water with it, leave it in the sun for a day. And the water separates the milk, and they scrape the slag off the top, and then
And then they boil it and let it sit again, and then into the tank. Yeah.
What's that doing to the engines running on?
No, that all it does to the engines is it emits a coconut smelling fume out the exhaust, but no, it's good. They run quite well, actually.
Totally lead free too, one would
Yeah,
assume.
yeah. So yeah, be safer as well.
For me, it's very fulfilling. Very fulfilling just from my side. It's great to put into practice the skills that we actually practice and rehearse at home, and you do on exercise. To do it on ops is great.
What you have on Bougainville is an enormous groundswell for peace. This is a very hopeful mission. Everybody's hoping, like hell, that the peace is going to entrench itself. That's a great, great environment to be working in. So this is a very hopeful mission, and in that way it's very different to my other deployments.
This is my third involvement in a peace support operation, and this would by far be the best, I'd say. It's certainly been great to come to a country where we've been exceedingly well received. There's a real quest for peace here, and it doesn't matter who you talk to, everyone is very pro the TMG and pro the peace support operation, and so it's made our lives a lot easier,
And also this one, you see the fruits of your work almost daily, and it makes you feel useful, not so much in Lebanon.
Also at Bosnia, I suppose with this mission we see it as an achievable mission. For Booker Island itself, the roads generally compared to the main island are in good condition and easily accessible by the team from here. Now I've seen the framework where it's going from the truce to the peace phase is, you know, it's very positive, and it's the first. It's good to compare the two and you actually see something coming as a result of it.
They've done a very good job in getting all parties, that is the warring parties, security force, the resistance, the BRA. With their presence, it has facilitated a lot of interaction between the warring parties.
It is the responsibility of everybody to pass the words of the peace process. Here in Langawai at the village, we have the Buin Truce Monitoring Team handing out the leaflet made by the Truce Monitoring Group called Newsbong Peace, telling people what's happening here in Bougainville.
Did we get the newsletter number 7?
No.
No?
But they are doing a good job. I think it's went all right.
Very good, isn't it?
Yeah. This is handmade.
Handmade yesterday.
Handmade once.
Here it's in our own backyard. You know, we're only 6 hours flying time from New Zealand, and it gives, I guess, everyone a good feeling in their heart that they've been able to do something in their own backyard for a change, as opposed to half a world away where most of our peace support operations seem to go.
Come on. Hello? Hello?
Women are quite shy of foreign men. By having women in the TMG, they've been able to go out there, reach out to those women, encourage them to be a part of the solution, encourage them to be a part of the process. And the women of Bougainville have truly appreciated that. They've constantly come up to me and say, "Mipla hamamas true, long upla ben karam o meri bloyu long displa hap," which means that we are so happy that you have brought your women here to talk to us.
That is very important for the women soldiers in the Truce Monitoring Group, because you see, you were not here to fight, and there was a lot of misunderstanding here from the uncontrolled areas, saying that you were here representing Sandline and also other propagandas. So by them here, as women, we accept them. Women, we have a heart for people. So even though they are soldiers, but they are also women, and they are accepted very, very well here, and they are playing a very important role.
I think my presence has certainly helped when we've gone to meetings, and a number of ladies where we've met with have been mixture BRA, BIG, from the BRA resistance women present. They've been confident to go and meet because I'm there, because it's not so much, it's because I'm a woman, as because I suppose I relate to women's issues, but it's also because I wear the armband, and that gives them some sense of security. And one of the more important things I've been able to say to a number of the women is they've asked about the New Zealand soldiers and what they're like. And I've been able to reassure them that the New Zealand soldiers will treat them well and treat them properly, and that's been quite important in some areas.
Most of the soldiers that are here, particularly in the TMTs, have got 10 years experience in the Army, and it's meant that they're already trained to a very high standard. To come over to this operation, they haven't had to have a lot of extra training in theatre training, really just health, hygiene, the climatic conditions they're going to come across, some of the local conditions that they'll come across as well. But really they've been well prepared and well trained purely through the fact that they've been in the Army for 10 years.
It's not something that is sort of anti, I guess, to our military training, but I think, you know, humanity, I suppose, is the right word to describe the approach that we need to take in any case, rather than a military approach.
Training for war essentially is what we do first and foremost. That provides a teamness, a discipline base, and above all other things, a good grounding in the use of initiative. When you come on a mission like this one, you of course put your weapons away, as we have done for Bel Isi, so the war dimension goes. But all those human values that come out of hard training come to the fore, especially initiative. This is a high initiative mission.
Obviously a lot of the lessons that are combat orientated are left behind, but a good deal of the principles and the confidence that the military gives you, and the assertiveness which is required at times, is a great asset to have.
This is the first time, I think, that an officer corps has deployed on expedition where the lion's share of them have had very senior education, master's degrees, or training, learning towards master's degrees and that sort of thing. That's created a flexibility of mind that's been brilliant.
They're very open, very good to get along with. I mean, when they arrived, it was not hard for us to interact.
It's been really good. I'm enjoying it. But at the same time, I can't wait to go home. I miss my family.
Here in Booker, the northern team site for the Truce Monitoring Group, soldiers are starting to rotate on what is the first part of a 3-leg journey back to New Zealand.
I think most of the time it's got to be done by ourselves, and it is us who has to play the forefront in many things to deal with the process. I'm glad that men and women from Australia, New Zealand, Vanuatu and Fiji are able to assist us in doing such a mammoth task, especially in building, once again, confidence to the people.
You New Zealand, people from New Zealand and Australia, thanks for giving your minds and hearts to give us the normalcy in Bougainville. Thanks.